Mary Richardson.
Perez.
Perez. Hyphen.
Yeah.
Mary Richardson-Perez.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you can say Perez.
Well, I got my minor in Spanish.
Did you?
And lived in Mexico.
Well, then you should have known.
I should say Perez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Phil for you. Yeah. Perez. Mary Richardson-Perez. What is your title? Like when you're on your business card or whatever that would go underneath your name, it would say. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, if it's the studio, then it would say founder and co-owner.
Ooh. Founder and co-owner of Satya. Satya.
Close.
Gosh darn, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Satya. Yeah. Yoga instructor.
Yoga teacher.
Anything else?
I'm a social work intern.
What is that?
It means that I haven't completed my degree yet. I'm in my last internship.
You're getting your LCSW?
Yes.
You're getting your LCSW.
But right now, I'm just getting my LMSW.
LMSW.
Yeah.
That's the...
Masters of Social Work. And then if I want to get my LCSW, I have to do my clinical hours after that.
Which is like 1,000 or 2,000 supervised.
It's a lot. I don't know if it is.
I know a couple people that did that.
Yeah.
Social work intern. So you're in the process of being a... And that's the goal is LCSW?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jamie was... this is interesting because Jamie Fagari was the therapist that came and we spoke for like 3-4 hours. It was awesome. We talked about all kind of stuff. Narcissism was the focus.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to understand more what narcissism was.
Yeah.
And I thought it might be topical.
Mm-hmm.
But she...
yeah.
She was like, you know why?
Yeah, I know why.
She is a certified yoga instructor.
Oh, okay.
And an LCSW. Well, she an LCSW. Let me see what she's... I got all the notes here. Yeah, LCSW, holistic psychotherapist.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, darn it, when I want to get everybody together and do a round table about mental health and yoga, and that's a perfect... She was like, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Get all you guys. Jennifer Coates could be our resident little wildcat. I'm just goofing. She's wild though. She's a witch.
Really?
She said she's a witch.
Oh, okay.
She's a witch.
I did not know that about her.
2-time whale. She was a humpback whale and a blue whale in her past life. We talked about all kind of stuff. Anyway, let's not talk about her. Let's talk about you. But that's why I say she'll be our resident kind of.
Man, I'm realizing I did not know her. That's really interesting.
You guys knew each other, right? Didn't you all?
Well, yeah, but
roommates?
Wait, no.
Okay.
Roommates.
Maybe that was Carly.
Carly and Jennifer Coates? Huh.
She said she knew you
learning
guys.
all kinds of things.
She said she knew you guys.
I mean, I know her from like way back when, but I never would have guessed she was a witch or any of that. So
I wouldn't have either.
Yeah.
I mean, the space she holds in stretching and breathing yoga doesn't have any witchy-like elements. It definitely has. There's no cats, no pointy hats. Anyway.
No brooms.
But it'd be cool to get that kind of broad perspective from different people kind of talking about mental health, yoga. Mm-hmm. Don't you think?
Yeah. Because I think even if we have a similar background, there's going to be very different perspectives maybe, or different sources of knowledge. So that could be interesting.
Speaking of, is it okay if you keep on correcting the way I say Satya until I get it right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Satya.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Say it.
Satya.
Satya.
Mm-hmm.
It's Satya.
Yeah.
Satya.
Yeah. Satya.
Satya.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a while, but I will get it.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you studied Sanskrit or?
I did. Yeah. So I studied it So I was getting a degree in fine arts and focusing on painting. And then I took I think it was called yoga philosophy or Indian philosophy. I don't remember, course, with a professor named Stephen Phillips. And so he was kind of well known because there weren't a lot of Sanskrit professors or yoga. Like that was the only yoga philosophy course at UT, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took his course and he was hilarious and kind of eccentric. And I was like, this is an interesting guy. So I asked him if he would like mentor me in Sanskrit, and then I would give him free like yoga privates. And surprisingly, he was interested.
Yeah.
And so I met with him weekly and he would kind of tutor me. And then he encouraged me to enroll in the Sanskrit program at UT. So then I enrolled in that program and I started working on a second degree in Asian studies. And it was a crash course because it was a sweet German lady, although very strict, led the class. And it started off with 16 of us in the first semester, and you move along with each other because it's progressive.
Uh-huh.
By the fourth semester, there were 3 of us.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And one of the students actually became a really good friend of mine, still one of my closest friends. And she actually wasn't even enrolled in the course. She was just doing it for fun, right? Not for credit. And then the other person was doing it, I think, because they were going to get a degree in either linguistics or something.
Why did everybody bail?
Because it was so hard, because she was so strict. She may not think so, but me and my now friend, she and I would go home and cry.
Who's this? Who's this professor?
I can't remember. In my mind, it's Professor Harzer, but I don't know if that's
just gonna
correct.
give her a shout out.
Yeah.
You were a little hard on Mary, okay?
Yeah.
You know who you are.
It was so much homework, and like her expectations they were grand.
But you stuck it out.
I stuck it out, yeah.
You said you weren't an expert in Sanskrit.
I'm not, because I was at back then, this was before my kids, so at least 10 years ago. So back then I was doing well. I was starting to translate texts and was teaching like basic pronunciation to other yoga teachers.
Uh-huh.
But then kids happened and I started focusing my energy elsewhere, like opening up a studio.
Right.
And then I just stopped practicing, and it's like anything else, you
lose it when you
lose
stop
it.
practicing
Yeah.
all the time.
And so even back then, though, I would not say I was an expert, because I look at like Professor Phillips, who was tutoring me, and he is taking these massive texts like the Rig Veda, and he's translating that. And he would say, I'm not an expert in Sanskrit.
Well,
so
if I took 10 random people from America and you were one of them, you think you'd be the one that knew the most about Sanskrit?
Maybe 10 random people, yes, but that does not qualify
Let's
me
say
as an expert.
100 people.
No. There's got to be
How many
somebody
people
else.
do you think know Sanskrit?
I don't know. But
You're in the 1%, I would think.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. It's one of those things. It's like, when someone says, hey, have you seen the new Tesla truck? I remember when somebody asked me that question.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And then that day I saw 5, right?
Yeah, whenever you prime yourself, and
Right.
once you're primed to see a number or an object.
Yeah, so you're going to start seeing Sanskrit experts everywhere.
Oh, you think I will? Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I'm hanging out with...
Guess what? So Jim Maxwell, who you said...
He's a Sanskrit expert?
Yes.
No
more
way.
than me.
Jim is?
Yep. See? Now you already know.
I know too.
Yep.
Dang, that's more than I thought I would know.
Uh-huh. Way more than me. Yeah. I'm like beginner level compared
to him?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
James Maxwell is the yoga therapist that referred me to Mary.
Mm-hmm.
But he's at the end of his career and didn't want anything to do with this stuff.
Yeah.
But he was very kind and generous with his time and referred me some really wonderful people, yourself included. Okay, so not an expert, but you think as part of this discussion, maybe over time as we have these discussions, you could teach me some Sanskrit?
No.
You couldn't?
I mean, maybe. What do you want to learn?
Just the easy stuff, whatever you felt comfortable teaching me. So as it relates to yoga.
Okay.
I thought it'd be a fun thing to like teach a layman how to say these words, just like it is like satya, satya.
Yeah.
Seeing
Yeah.
someone fumble over time and be like, okay, let's try those words again, like when we meet again in a
Yeah.
month or so.
So here's the thing. Like, one, I'm out of practice.
Okay, so you can't even
Been
say them.
years. I mean, I can, but the other thing is, and this is something that I talk about with yoga teachers when we are going into like just basic pronunciation. There's some things that I have heard for I started teaching in 2000, and when did I start teaching? 2005 or 2009, I can't remember. But so imagine like hearing the same words, the same names for that long,
Uh-huh.
right? Being mispronounced. And then only really studying Sanskrit for, let's say, 5 years out of that. So I still kind of like battle between, wait, I've heard this pronounced a million times this way,
Yeah.
but yet if I look at the actual letters, I'll know how to pronounce it, right? And
Uh-huh.
so I have to revisit words to say like, oh, how's this actually
We could
pronounced?
revisit them. And you
Yeah.
could also teach me because the community can change language, right? If all the yoga instructors in America say like we're going to just pronounce it this way, is it really wrong?
In my opinion, or
Yeah, both. In your opinion, it is wrong.
it's wrong.
It's wrong. Well, you can teach me the right way. You can also say, no, let's not do that. I'm just trying to find fun things we could do
Sure.
around discussing yoga
Hmm.
and just having a good conversation.
Sure. Yeah, we can try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can look up the words and show you and be like,
Uh-huh.
here's what they're spelled like. Let's see. So we could talk about Sanskrit a little bit. Um